Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad you can be with us today. I'm Sharon Spurlock. I work in the Family Support Department at the St. Louis Arc, and this is our weekly Q&A. And this week it is all about volunteers because April is Volunteer Appreciation Month. So now we're ready with our surprise guest here, Rhonda Hembry, but we're going to wait for her and ask for Megan Eder to introduce herself. And Megan, you can just pass it around. How about that?
So, hi everybody, my name is Megan Eder and I am the volunteer manager with the St. Louis Arc. And today we have special guests.
My name is Mike Posey. I work at the dances. I do tables, chairs, the band. After that, take on tables and chairs, clean up, and I take out the trash. Plus I do money too.
Who else is with you there?
Hi, I'm Matt Scheipeter. I've been a volunteer since 1992. We've done several different projects with the Arc. We did cultural happenings, Young Adult Club. We've been involved with the dance that entire period. I was a coach on the Lehman Cougar softball team. I helped with the golf program for several years. It's just become a part of our life.
Thank you, Matt. And who is our surprise guest here?
Hi, my name's Rhonda Hembry, and I started at the Arc as an intern in 1991, but I do want to say in 1992, the Arc did hire me, and my very first job was to hook participants up with volunteers. And my very first volunteer that I got hooked up with was Matt Scheipeter. Of all the people, I'm like, oh my gosh. So Matt and I go way back. And Maddie Reese was the very first person I got to work with. And Matt and Maddie Reese became longtime friends and built a huge relationship. So that's really, really great to see about volunteering.
So it sounds like you owe your career to Matt Scheipeter because you did such a good job.
I do. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I hope you stay around, Rhonda, because I have a couple of questions for you, but I'm going to start with Megan. Megan, tell us a little bit about the volunteer program that we operate at the Arc.
Yeah, so we have consistent volunteer opportunities that are all throughout the year. Some are ongoing opportunities, some are just one-time volunteer opportunities. So it fits with everybody's schedule for those to choose, you know, what they're interested in, what their time frame is, what they're available for. Those opportunities can be anything from coaching all kinds of sport leagues, basketball, softball, soccer, to instruction, to cooking classes, art class. We have opportunities to spend days with several of our Dave-time programs and help out with pretty much kind of all throughout programs of the Arc. So a lot of different ages. There's always something available, but then there's always maybe something different that, you know, comes around from time to time. So volunteers can get involved by reaching out to our website and inquiring about what they're interested in, what they're available for. They go through an onboarding process, orientation and training, background checks, and just, you know, really setting up that time to discover what it is that they're interested in, what they would like to volunteer for.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, Mike, how did you get involved volunteering with the dances?
Now, Matt came up to me one day saying, you need a job at the dance? I say, yeah.
So were you going to the dances, or did you know Matt from something else?
No, we met through the dance.
I met from the dance.
Yes.
Okay. So while you were there, Matt could just tell that you might want to do some extra work, huh?
Matt needs might do tables and chairs.
All right. And why do you like doing that?
Get everything done before the dance starts. 7 o'clock, people start coming in. The table be finished. The money, the dance starts 7:30. Everybody be coming in. All money be gone. Matt told me, I gave Matt the box. He told me go out there dance.
Nice. Well, Matt, good for you. Way to recruit. It sounds like the dances go a lot more smoothly, Mike, because you're there to get things ready in time.
Thank you.
What about you, man? How did Rhonda convince you that volunteering was the right thing?
We actually found the ARC through a friend of my mom. She has an adult son who was a participant in several of the programs. And kind of on a personal level, my wife and I, we'd been married a couple years, and my wife was diagnosed with lupus. So the medicine she needed to keep the lupus in check prevented us from having children. So all our friends have families, and we needed something to keep us out of trouble. And so we started volunteering with the ARC, and it was magical. It helped us fill up those extra hours. And so many of the programs fit into things that we really love to do. And Cultural Happenings was just a super fun program. We would take smaller groups to dinner or to Six Flags or things like that. So it felt like a family. We adopted a family. And so then over the years, we got involved with the softball, we got involved with the golf, but the dance has always been our mainstay. And we inherited from another couple who had been doing it for quite a while. And my wife and I took it over, and she would do the decorations, and Mike and I would set up and get ready and then greet everyone and
meet new friends.
And then after a while, my wife got healthy, and we had a son, Mark. And so he started coming to the dances, and then we adopted a little guy, Simon. And so my children had between 80 and 100 new aunts and uncles every month. And the greatest thing I've done as a father was our boys, they don't see disability, they just see people. They grew up in the ARC environment, and they were the softball mascots. And my son, Mark, is a great golfer. And so, he's gone whenever he could to the golf outings with us and helped, work on people's swing and stuff. And it's just become a part of our family. And we're so grateful. We think the ARC has done more for us than we've done for the ARC. So it's a mutual admiration society.
Those are the best relationships, aren't they? Where everybody feels like they're winning from it. So a real quick question, Matt, for you. Did you have experience with people with disabilities when you decided to come looking for volunteer work, or was it just a lucky coincidence that you came to check us out?
We just had friendship with the friend of my mom, his son. And
okay.
It was something that always felt really comfortable for me. And my wife is a school teacher, and she has, in her degree, she has her special ed degree. So it was just a perfect fit.
Fantastic. So Matt, tell me about getting to know Mike. What did you see in him that made you think he needs to become part of our volunteer crew?
Oh, Mike is such a quality individual, and he's one of those kind of people who can see what needs to be done and jumps in to do it. And so even though he started as a participant at the dances, he was always, hey, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? And he would started helping, and then he became so valuable that I started picking him up and taking him home, so he would be there early with me and could stay late with me.
Yeah.
So again, it was a perfect friendship.
Yeah. Mike, did you realize that you were going to become friends with Matt when you started working together at the dance?
Yeah. Matt, nice man, nice guy. He treated me nice.
He treats you well?
He treated me well. Matt treated me well.
Excellent.
So Matt told me, told me, do it, I'll do it. Said, it's not my job, I do it anyway.
Do you ever tell Matt what needs to be done?
Yeah, he told me, he said, Matt, tell me what he told me. Yeah, you need got some stuff on the floor, like a paper, I'll pick it up.
But
it sounds like you are very observant, and it makes for such a good volunteer. So Rhonda, can you tell us what it means to your programs to have the support of volunteers?
I love to see the relationships that are made through the ARC and the leisure programs with the volunteers. It's nice to have paid people, but the volunteers are in it not for the pay. They're in it to build relationships and to gain some insight within themselves of a contemplation of life for them, on what the meaning of life for them is through service projects and service work at the ARC. So the leisure department really relies on volunteers because we have 250 to 300 volunteers for about 38 different programs that we do. So we really need really great quality volunteers like Matt and Mike. And so it just means a lot for us to keep going on and on with our programs. And it's on the other end, the families that get involved with the volunteers after so many years, like we have, and the retention of our volunteers is so high. We were just talking to John Russell. He's been with us for 42 years and has built that lifetime with those families and those participants. And Mike, you've met a lot of people outside of Matt. The band are now Mike's friends, and we'll come and pick him up and take him to the Blues games, and we'll come pick him up and take him home and stuff. So it's just a quality friendship versus a paid to play kind of position.
So it sounds like you are making some friends and feeling like you're contributing. That's really important for you as a volunteer. Matt, you started to talk about this, but you've been volunteering an awful long time. What keeps you coming through the door?
Oh, the young people that we worked with through the ARC, all the ARC people that we've met, the friendships are just amazing. And Megan does such an amazing job at her work. She brings us wonderful groups of students from Horseshoe and SLU and various other colleges. For a while, the entire Fontbonne men's volleyball team would come to the dance. And the coach worked in special ed. So it was just this amazing young group of young men. Well, they were 1.5 feet taller than everyone else at the dance, but they had everyone up and dancing. They would sit with our non-ambulatory people, and these young men got involved at every level of the dance, having fun serving the snack, having fun with the attendance prizes. And we've had so many wonderful people from SLU and Horseshoe and all the different colleges, and Emerson and Anheuser-Busch. She gets us people, and some of those people, they'll come for the one-time group, and then they'll come back by themselves, and those relationships and what that does for the dance. You know, it's the same participants pretty much every month, but when we have new faces, the energy level just goes through the roof. And we have volunteers that they just pop up who, you know, they volunteered when they were in college, and then they'll see it on the calendar and they'll just come out. It's so exciting to see who's going to show up every month.
How fun. I love that. And, you know, being on a team, whether it's a work team or a sports team, to go anywhere and do a job, do a project together is such a good way to connect with each other. I love the idea of coming and volunteering as a group as a way to connect your own team. So that's a pretty cool story. I want to follow up on something that Rhonda said, because she was talking about how the families knew you guys because you were always there. And I think sometimes we forget that everybody with a disability that participates in our events, most of them have family members that care about them, sometimes that they live with, and it can be scary to have your family member with a disability could drop them off somewhere where they don't know people, especially if they don't communicate really well. Can you tell me about some of the families that you have got to know and what you see as your connection with families that are connected to our events?
Oh, that's a really special side of it. That's a cool question. There, a young lady, Christine, she's almost totally nonverbal, but yet she wants to help everyone at the dance. And I remember in the early years, her mom used to actually stay because Christine had no way to communicate. Well, we quickly found out that some of the other participants were really good at sign language. So Miss Cindy Van Horn, one of the other participants, is my translator for sign language. So Christine gets to have this personal interaction with everyone else at the dance through Cindy and what little I've learned. There's this wonderful young man named Matthew who is the best hugger in the whole world, and his sisters will come and stay and dance, and his mom. We got to meet his brother last month, and
Yeah.
so there. And some of the staff people, a lot of our participants are from group homes, so their staff people will come and they're just part of this whole big happy party now. There's been staff people that were coming before I started coming that are still coming. They're that dedicated to those group homes. There's Jim from one of the homes in Kirkwood. He's just the neatest man in the world.
Well, I remember when I first started and I came to the dance and you walked me around and you said, her sister used to babysit me and
Yes.
I grew up with her at school, and you just were able to introduce me with so many other personal connections than, you know, just from being at the dance.
So Megan, there's a question in the chat about volunteer opportunities, and they're wanting to know, do we have weekday, weekend, and evening opportunities?
We do. So a majority of the instructional classes or dances, those sports leagues, those take place during the evening time. So, and it always happens on the same day of the week. So it is very consistent of the day, the time, the location, for a, you know, general amount of weeks. Then there's Saturday opportunities for bowling leagues or for fun days, or, which would be, you know, anything from movie day to maybe an outing, you know, going to Six Flags, or seasonal, you know, crafting and kind of themed events around the seasons. And then during the daytime, we've had volunteers come out and help with yard work opportunities to help residents with clearing up yards and getting ready for the summer and preparing for the winter, maybe planting some new plants, just kind of helping to clean up outside. And then also consistent volunteering and visiting with our day program. So, you know, helping out with the activities there and helping to facilitate, you know, all the different just activities that go on throughout the day, and really interacting, you know, side by side with individuals. So there's something really all the time. It, you know, again, it's through the year, which, you know, if there's something you're really interested in doing, you know, for this season, but it's full, it'll come back around that next season or the next time. So there is, you know, an availability to catch it again. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So if somebody's interested, Megan, what's the first step? What should they do to get started?
Really just initiating that conversation with me. So inquiring to our website, and filling out, you know, just general information. That really is kind of how things get started. And then they learn about all the volunteer opportunities that we have. Some people might be familiar with just maybe one activity, and then they find out there's all these other activities. So there's a lot of discovery with the first, you know, step, and just helping out, you know, what you're interested in, what would you like to do. And it's completely up to the volunteer of when they want to volunteer, how much do they want to volunteer, and what they would like to do. So that's really what gets it started. And then there's the onboarding with paperwork and just making sure we have all the information for them, and training and going through all the orientation, and, you know, really helping to explain what all the programs are at the ARC, the history, just what, you know, your role could be like, you know, safety protocols, We also offer training opportunities for our volunteers. So just really putting a lot of the pieces together of the ARC overall so that they really feel, aware and prepared when they get to their volunteer job.
Switch over to Matt and Mike, because it's been so clear to me that you guys really are super committed and excited about the dances, and they're a big important part of your life. And I know we didn't have dances for a while because of COVID. So when that was happening, how did that impact you, and what did you guys do to kind of fill that gap?
Oh, I was so lost without our monthly dances, and the golf program stopped, and it's become such a part of my life. I was really lost. I felt a big gap, but I really felt a huge void in my life.
Matt, I think it's so cool. Every time I talk to you, it's makes me excited and makes me feel good, because I work with families a lot, and a lot of the time families feel like nobody else is really going to care about their family member except them. And so it makes them really nervous about what's going to happen when they're gone. It makes them nervous to leave their family member alone. And I hope that there's at least one family out there that can hear in your voice the true connection that you feel to people, and your ability to see them for all the great qualities they have.
The ARC is something truly magical. And I know that if you start with one program, you won't stop there. You'll get involved in others. It really is. It's a blessing in so many ways.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell people before we wrap up?
Oh, please come to our dances. And if you like golf, they have wonderful golf programs. They have the softball, the basketball. You don't have to be an athlete. They have book club. They have cooking club. They have walking club. Most of us know how to walk.
Yeah, I like.
It's deeper than just volunteering. It becomes a way of life. The rewards that my family have received way exceed anything that we've donated to the ARC in time, and we're just so fortunate to have found this at such a young age and made it a part of our life.
Well, we are fortunate to have found you. Sometimes life just gives you exactly what you need. Megan, how about you?
Come and volunteer with us. There's all different types of things you can do. And you're right, you don't have to be a pro at doing any of the activities. It's just about being there to help out and have a good time. So
we need help. We need help. Yep.
All right, Mike's told you we need help. So the more volunteers we have, the better quality programs we'll have for the people we support. The more people will recognize what a cool community of inclusion we can have in St. Louis. So so many good things can happen. All right, so if you're looking to make friends, if you're looking to feel good about what you're doing, if you're looking to connect with the ARC, this is your opportunity. Do come talk to Megan. You can find her on our webpage through the volunteer link, or you can call our main office. We'd love to have you join our family of support.